Hello and welcome to the Fedora Files. I am Gregory Fedora. With me, it's Crystal and Angel, and we are at the Puerto Rican Distillery. And I'm really excited about this. I found you guys on Instagram as I was searching distilleries in the area, and you have a different type of beverage that you guys create, and I don't want to butcher it, so I'll let you explain what it is, and because I know I won't say it properly. So what exactly is it that you guys make here?
So real quick, it's a Puerto Rican distillery, but the name is Puerto Rico Distillery.
See, I already butchered it.
So no, you didn't butcher it because, like I said, we are Puerto Rican, so it is a Puerto Rican distillery.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't untrue.
It was not. It was not. It was not incorrect.
Oh.
In the sense of that's what we are, Puerto Rican Distillery. Mm-hmm. But the name of the business is Puerto Rico Distillery.
Puerto Rico Distillery.
And I'll let Crystal then tell you, at least kick us off on what it is that we focus on.
Sure thing. So we specialize in a style rum that's Puerto Rico's version of moonshine. So the nickname for it, one of the many nicknames for it, is Pitorro, also known by Pitrinche, Lágrimas del Monte, Roncaña, and a lot of people hear the term moonshine and they automatically think whiskey, corn, wheat, that type of thing. But anywhere there's alcohol regulation, there's going to be an underground. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense for it to be rum in Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. And the tradition on the island is to take that illegal, illicit rum and to infuse it with different flavors. And that's what we specialize in. So we have our unflavored blank canvas rum, which is our clandestino clásico, as we call it. That's the clear. And then we have a pubu platter of pitorro on the tray here for you, where I always kind of explain it generationally. So my great-grandfather's generation would have been drinking it straight. Mm-hmm. Would have been drinking the clear, long, hard days on the field. Those guys went hard. Also, economically, they didn't have a lot of disposable income to be spending on the flavoring ingredients. So that was partly the reason. My dad likes to tease that my grandfather's generation started to wimp out and say that there's got to be an easier way for this to go down. So that's where we start to see my grandfather's generation, what we call the traditional, because across the island, it was pretty much the first recipe that people came out with. So infused with raisins and prunes, and maybe your particular family has a third ingredient that is unique to your family. In our family, my dad added cranberries to have the tartness balance and lighten the deeper notes of the other fruits.
So do we want to get you tasting a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, so this is the clear with the first one, the crystal.
So this would be the real men would drink this.
That is the.
So we'll see what happens to me.
Exactly.
Well, like a lot of the other distilleries, we always advise people taking a baby sip to shock the taste buds.
That's what you did.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that.
Yeah, you know, you're new to your stuff. Yeah. And then when you taste it again, it's going to open up more. You're going to get more of the molasses notes, a little bit of pepperiness to it. It is 100 proof. So for as strong as it is, it's actually surprisingly smooth. And it's got a little bit of, funk that some people compare it to like a rum agricole in other parts of the Caribbean. So it's a big personality type of rum. Not as neutral as some of the other rums that lend themselves more to cocktails. This is meant to stand on its own.
Right. And that's the blank canvas.
Yeah, that's
out of which now we do all the other products.
I've had like some moonshine. I had it from Dragon Distillery, and I've had some of their straight moonshine. This is like you said, it does go down way smoother than the moonshine that's blank that I've had. That I was like I was like, whoa! And for 100 proof, this is like crazy, like that. It's not. I was waiting to really be like dying.
It'll give you the hugs.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I felt
proof,
it. Yeah,
but it really goes down smooth.
Yeah, I feel it, but it didn't like make my throat like
right.
That's nice. And so, what is the other one?
So this is
the next one.
As Crystal was saying, so this one's called traditional because my father's generation. That's the first recipe that on the island they developed in order to tame the unflavored one.
So what's in it? This is like
it's raisins, prunes, and cranberries.
Okay,
that's the only thing we add. There's nothing to sweeten it, nothing to add flavor except for the combination of those three in there.
the natural fructose releasing into the rum.
Oh, very nice. So you said like down there, it's still illegal to do this. Like,
Yes.
so they still have like a prohibition against it.
So I mean, it's the same. It's Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, so the same laws, alcohol laws that apply in Maryland apply down there, right?
Okay.
If you actually distill, if you distill or any product, right, they're going to expect you to pay taxes. If you're selling a product, they're going to expect it to have a label, and all those things the moonshiners don't do, right?
Yeah.
They don't do labels, they don't do rectification, they don't pay taxes, and that's what it is. But Puerto Rico is culturally has been the moonshining has been ingrained in the culture so much that even though it is illegal, and if the police officer sees you out in public, they will confiscate it, they will arrest you. Nobody goes looking for these people to arrest them.
Okay.
Not really out of their way.
Right. So one of the difference, for example, that we use to accentuate the difference between moonshiners here in the States is that all our bottles actually have a rubber band around it. And that's how we pay tribute to the moonshiners here, right? Because the moonshiners here don't want anybody to know where they live. And what's happened is that they actually drive their product to the customer. You know, a lot of people know that's how NASCAR started, souping up the cars so they can run away from the police officers when they knew they were after them. And when they put them in the trunk of their car, they would cushion them with things. So the rubber band is simulating that cushioning.
Yeah, the newspaper.
In
straw.
Puerto Rico, the people that make moonshine don't take it to their customers. Everybody knows where they live, and they actually go to their house to pick it up.
Right.
Okay. So then that gets rid of the middleman. You just go there, you get it.
You get
And
it, and that's why in Puerto Rico there's very much a culture of infusing flavor into it. What you'll taste if you come here are the recipes that I learned from my father that I taught Crystal. They're the Rivera recipes. But if you go to Puerto Rico, people buy moonshine from the moonshiners, and you go to their house and they'll give you their recipe. They'll give you their family recipe or their personal recipe on something that they've been
So
doing
it's all
for
very
years.
unique to the family.
It is very artisanal and very personalized, and sometimes it's family, but most of the time it's actually individuals having their way of doing it.
So they get a family recipe, then they add their own little twist, and it just sort of morphs. And that's kind of what you've done.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So you tried the traditional.
Yeah.
That is our best seller, by the way, and that is our personal favorite. Probably.
I was about to ask you, would you have a favorite of these?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I think for both Angel and myself, even my sister. So, you know, we are biased. It is the family recipe, but it is also the best seller. So I think that verifies.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to keep taking you on this journey. So I think this is almond. So almond, we're going to give it to you chronologically. Almond, a lot of people that like amaretto, we pushed it more towards the very almondy. And also we sweeten a lot of our rums with honey that we get from the University of Maryland.
Okay.
And this one we pushed a little bit on the sweeter edge for those that like it a little bit sweeter.
Baz got a sweet tooth, so
I tend to push it towards the sweet.
We try to have options.
Crystal pulls me back.
Yeah, I like things a little drier. He likes things a little sweeter, so we got to try to have options along that spectrum.
It tastes like a biscotti with a kick,
Yeah.
like a liquid biscotti. You can't dip it in your coffee, but
It is very popular.
you
We
could
do hear
probably
people mix it with their coffee.
pour it in. Yeah, I was about to say you could probably mix this with your coffee.
The almond is probably the one, the
smells really
flavor
good, too.
that we see most. Most people say that they get creative in the kitchen with it. That they'll add it to cakes, to flan, to all kinds of
Cookies.
stuff.
Oh yeah, I can see you doing that with that. That's
All right, so the next one we released is the coconut.
all right. Coconut.
So with the coconut, we know there's rums out there that people avoid because they're either too sweet or too coconutty. So we pulled back from that. Our coconut rum, we sweeten it, we flavor it with dried sweet coconut and a little bit of honey, trying to give it the essence of the coconut and enough sweetness to make it enjoyable, but not overbearing on either the flavor or the sweet.
Right. It's a more subtle, natural coconut flavor as opposed to, you know, that synthetic suntan lotion vibe.
It's good. Like it's another one like the almond. It's like you can taste it, but it's not overpowering. And it's another one where it's like, oh, I could just sit there and drink this. Like it feels relaxing. I've noticed that these are very relaxing drinks.
So you're absolutely right. That's a good observation. So this is really the rum that people drink on the island. Even though Puerto Rico is known for Bacardi that's more worldwide and commercial. On the island, these are the rums that, as I said, they make them themselves. So they make them to their own like and tasting, and they're sipping rums. For us, they're sipping rums. So you wouldn't see somebody making the recipe of Pitorro and then taking that and putting it into a cocktail. You wouldn't see that on the island.
You would just,
Right now, when we opened here, people came and started doing tastings and liked them, but then there's very much a cocktail culture here. So their next question was, what can I put it in? We were very, very honest with them. It caught us by surprise. That's not something we do. But we told them, if you find something that you really like, let us know. And if you go to our website, there's a tab called a little book of Pitorro Brooklyn Latino cocktails. And they're full of cocktails that our customers have sent us.
Well, what is your website so people can see that?
PuertoRicoDistillery.com.
Really easy.
The name. And that's also where you can find a link to our online store for our online orders, things like that.
Okay.
And we recently started, we got as a customer an account that can ship to like 38 of the states. And in our tab, Finding Clandestino on our website, you can go directly to the link and you can basically get it in most of the states.
So I would say, like you said, this has been a family recipe and you've tweaked it and stuff. What made you decide to then open up and start sharing your family recipe and selling?
So the story behind that is that we have, Crystal and I and the family, we are part of a nonprofit that has been operating in the state of Maryland for 10 years now. And we started that nonprofit because we missed the culture back home. We missed the food, the music, and everything. And through that organization, we provide space where we hire bands. We have a band ourselves that we play. We bring musicians from Puerto Rico or from New York. We bring artisans that make all kinds of different things. And then we put together an event, right? We've been doing that for 10 years. After Hurricane Maria in 2017, we decided to make one of those events a fundraiser. And I happened to get my hands on some Pitorro, about 20 cases. And I prepared them in order to make it a fundraiser. And the reaction to that from the expats, from folks from the island that, again, you can't get it on the island unless you know where to get it, much less in the States. When they found out that we were having it, they wanted to find out where I lived. They wanted to find out where the event started at noon and people were parked at 8 o'clock in the morning. When we got there at 10 to set up, they had already been there a couple hours waiting. So we said, there's something here. Obviously, there's a product that's very beloved on the island that you can get. And we saw that there would be an interest. So, Crystal and I just decided to give it a go. And it's really been very good, the reaction.
That essentially has 30 plus years of blending experience under his belt. And when I came to an age appropriate, time, we won't say when that was. But when I came to age, teaching me about that was as much a part of my cultural education as learning the food, the language, visiting the island the 1 or 2 times a year just got to the point where it wasn't enough. And we were tired of only having that experience the 1 or 2 times that we were visiting. So I used to work nonprofit. I ended up leaving the job after Hurricane Maria. Was kind of a sticking point and a light switch. And I wanted to do something that was more involved in the culture and that I had the ability to contribute more. Like we have 100% of the tasting proceeds go to a different nonprofit of the month. This whole year, we're dedicating to a particular nonprofit that's close to our hearts, Lagoico down in Puerto Rico, that promotes bomba en plena down in Puerto Rico. But I wouldn't have that ability to do that if I weren't going into business with a BAM.
So the distillery was born out of the nonprofit and is really a reflection of the nonprofit because we've always said that we don't want to necessarily just have a good rum. We want folks, when they step in through the door, to feel as though they're sort of stepping into a little slice of Puerto Rico where they can see and feel everything that is associated with this.
100%.
Yeah, I love the artwork on the bottles. Like, did you guys do that or?
So this gentleman right there, Seth Serbaum, is
your artist?
our guy, and he's just been amazing. He's really been able to sort of do a brain merge between Crystal's more modern aesthetic and my more traditional tendencies.
He's local to here in Frederick with Tribe Designs. And even for not being Puerto Rican, he took the time to gather all the information of, where.
Get to know us.
Yeah, get to know us, where Angel was coming from, where I was coming from, and did an amazing job representing.
It's the guy coming off of the field with his little bottle right there.
Yep, no, that's exactly what it is.
So
all right, so let me.
What's this next one?
Let's keep this going. So this is pineapple, and with pineapple, we did something very similar where we wanted to not make it overbearing or overly sweet. Some people still find it a little bit sweet for their taste, but that's the essence. We wanted to try to avoid making it overbearing.
Right.
Oh,
so we
very good.
diced pineapple chunks and a touch of honey. So again, it's more that natural flavor coming through.
Nice. And that's one that I could sense you could mix some stuff with it, like and make a cocktail. It's running in my head right now.
Absolutely. There you go. And remember, if you find something you like, just take a picture, send us the recipe.
Oh, definitely.
And we'll put it up there. All right. So this is, I think, one of the latest ones that we released. That is passion fruit. We have released tamarind, which we're out of right now. Honey mango, which we are out of right now, which have been very popular.
That's very good too.
Yep. I think we're missing the coconut chai, so we're gonna have to get that for you, because that's also very popular too.
All right.
And we'll leave the coffee for last. So while Crystal gets the coconut chai, I will explain that we do have two cocktails that we make ready to drink.
Okay.
We didn't say this, but we opened in March of 2020. So we opened exactly when the pandemic was closing everything down.
Yes, that's good timing.
Yeah, our timing was really was a bit crazy. But the thing is that we actually, as I said, we had a lot of people that as soon as they found out that we were going to open, started to follow us. And in the one year that we had to build out, we had a lot of people that were following, interested in us opening. So when we opened that we really couldn't open, the entire first year of sales were people buying online and then just coming and doing the curbside, just because there was that
demand,
pent up demand.
Yeah, well, I can understand the demand, because like I said, I never tried it till this is the first time I ever tried it, and this is amazingly good. And I wish that was part of my culture. But now it can be.
It is now.
Now it is now. But I'm saying I wish I had known about this sooner. This is like, it really is like, I like, because you like you said, you feel the warmth, but it's not overpowering, and the flavors are real. Even the one for the real men. It's like it's hard, but it's like it wasn't hard as in bad. It was like you could feel it was strong, but it wasn't like overpowering. It's like, so I could understand drinking like that, mistakenly drinking a whole bottle of that and then realizing I shouldn't have.
Yes, there's many stories along those lines. So that one that you're trying now
chai.
is coconut chai.
Yeah, I can
taste
taste
because
the chai.
we had coconut, we pushed the flavor profile more towards the chai tea.
Yeah.
And so one that closest resembles maybe a spice rum, and in order to give another option besides the almond, we put a little bit more honey in that one. So that one's a little bit sweeter. But that one's also been very popular. We released it in a smaller bottle around the holidays because people were asking for something smaller to gift. And now we're actually making it in the big bottle because they're not happy with the fact that the bottles are so small.
Nice.
So
then what are
we're
these?
fixing that.
These are your mixed drink ones.
So these are the two cocktails that I started.
And you guys have them.
Yep. So we have them up here. So they're both named after places in Puerto Rico, and Morro is a fort in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
That one is made with our passion fruit rum, pineapple juice, and grenadine. It tastes a little bit like guava, but it's just a combination of those three. It's very yummy. All our rums are 100 proof, and our cocktails, again, trying to keep it within the tradition of it being a little bit stronger, are between 18 and 20% alcohol per volume. So they're not rum level, but they will get you if you just keep drinking, sitting down. When you get up,
Yeah.
your knees will tell you that
You should have stopped.
you've been
Right.
having some rum. Yes, absolutely.
And
And then this one
this
is
is-
called La Perla,
La Perla.
which is our version of a Pina Colada.
Okay.
It's really easy. That's just the coconut rum and pineapple juice.
Oh.
It tastes like a Pina Colada, but we don't use the coconut cream, so you
Mhm.
don't get that
Yeah.
creamy fillness that you get with the regular Pina Colada. And then I think we left for last
Yeah,
the
the
coffee.
coffee.
That is my second favorite. So I'm not sure if you're,
Oh, it
if
smells
you're a
really
coffee
good.
drinker.
Oh, I am.
But I am. So that one is like a double espresso with a little bit of brown sugar and honey to take the bitterness out of the end. So it's very bold in the flavor. It's my second favorite. I just love it after a good meal.
That's really good. Yeah. And it goes again. It's smooth. All of them are very smooth going down. It's like I love that. And so when did you open here in this establishment?
March.
Oh yeah, March 20.
Yeah, mid-March.
Yeah.
Sorry, I drank
2020.
a few, and then I
Yeah,
I drank.
It'll sneak up
That's
on
right.
you.
Right in the middle of pandemic. I remember now. So
That's good. It means it's working.
yes.
Because it's supposed to kind of sneak up on you. It's
Yeah.
supposed to. So these are for us. These are like social,
Mhm.
right? I remember when Crystal. So Puerto Rico has very much a culture like Europe,
Mhm.
right? Where I think the legal age, because it's 18, but you drink with your family as soon as your parents or your uncles think
Say-
that you're good, and you do it in the family and you do it at the dinner table. And so when we started going down to Puerto Rico and Crystal was becoming more aware of the drinking, she was like, you don't drink as much in the States as you do in Puerto Rico. And I said, I'm not really drinking more. I'm socializing more.
Exactly.
It's kind of how you socialize. It's interesting because my grandmas and my aunts will as soon as you walk in through the door, they'll give you a cup of coffee.
Mhm.
And then the uncles and the grandpa and the males will give you a shot
Right.
a shot of rum.
Ready with everybody meet.
and then we'll talk.
Right. So now you guys do you have any flavors you're thinking of trying next?
Yes.
Or are you able to tell, or do you want to hold on?
No.
I'm good if you are.
No. We're good. So like I said, we don't have right now, but tamarind is a flavor that we released and it was very popular. So we're gonna bring it back.
Yeah, that's a once a year thing.
Yeah.
Honey mango as well. There's the combination like the coconut chai. There's combinations of flavors that are very popular, but the very next one that we're actually discussing about doing is actually a blending of traditions. So I before we started, I did mention that this is a tradition very much like the moonshiners, where the rum gets put in bottles and the flavor ingredients get put in bottles. And there's this whole other rum culture, whereas you get the rum and you put it into oak barrels and then you age it in there. So we're thinking of actually doing a blending of those two traditions.
Okay.
So we're going to probably, we're talking about how we're going to do this, but we're going to have our rum aged a little bit with the oak, but also trying to give it a little bit of that fruit flavor and trying to blend those two traditions, bring it together.
That'd be very cool.
Kind of your generation and my generation, and so that is hopefully something that we'll release before the end of the year. And before that, we're going to release some of the flavors that we released, and people are just beating us up because we only did them once.
Yeah, we said it was temporary, but
They want it back.
yeah.
So people can find you. Where do you want to tell people where you're located so they can come to your establishment and check you guys out? Because it looked like you do more than just. At least on your Instagram, it looked like you had like a little dance party. Was it here or was it somewhere else?
It was here. So like I said, we try to combine some of those, and for example, what you saw in that video is us bringing in from the nonprofit side some of the folks that we collaborate with.
Okay.
Right. So that's a dance instructor that helps us with some of those things. Some of the events where we actually bring food vendors. We have food vendors that come here on the weekends. We have some of the artisans, so they come here as well. As far as our location here, we are really wrapping up production because now we're able to ship to 38 states, and we're in probably around 50 liquor stores in Maryland. So our website is probably the best place to go
And find out what's going
and find
on.
out, because if you go to PuertoRicoDistillery.com, there's one tab that's called Finding Clandestino, and the very first option is the button for shipping. So it'll take you straight to the folks that we work with in Washington, and you can order directly from them, and they'll send it to you. And then the rest of the page are all the liquor stores that we are here spread out throughout America. And they can always come here. We're in front of the municipal airport. You might hear some of the planes in the background.
Yeah, we're located at 1341 Hughes Ford Road, Unit 113A in Frederick, Maryland, which the GPS will usually take you to the wrong side of the building. So if you go to the side of the building that's facing the airport, we're in between Dragon Distillery, our good neighbors over on our right, and Idiom Brewery's new production facility. So you'll see us nice and nestled in between. We're open for tastings on Fridays noon to 5, Saturdays noon to 6. The rest of the week we're doing production, so we're not necessarily open for tastings, but if you call us and we're working, we're more than happy to take care of you if you know what you want to get and just keep it moving.
Nice. And like I say, I love it. I'm glad I found you guys, because I will definitely be back, and I will be definitely buying some and telling people about it. And if you're listening or watching, definitely you want to try some, and you guys have it in large bottles and small bottles. I went to your website, and I saw that you have the little flask bottles, which may be a great idea to get some flasks, because then you can try multiples.
Yeah, build a variety
Come in
pack.
for a tasting, it goes to nonprofit.
Yeah.
We say that to try Pitorro is to love it.
Yeah,
It's the best kept secret that we have on the island, and word of mouth, somebody actually taking a bottle, and then when their neighbors go and visit them, their neighbors will come and get it. So we're really proud of the product.
Definitely follow us on social media, because that's where we post of special events that we're doing, whether they're here at the distillery or a pop-up like Muévete on the rooftop. So we try to keep active.
Yeah. I've been looking you on Instagram, and you guys have a lot of cool things going on. So I'm excited to like I said, get some and have my friends try this, because I know they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Because I have friends who are all about distilleries and whiskey, and then when they try this, it's going to blow their mind and be like,
It's different.
Yeah, it's different. It's fun. It's like I said, it's a very relaxing drink. As opposed, like, whiskey's good, but it's not always relaxing. Sometimes it's harsh, and none of these were like overbearing. They're like just good. You know, I enjoyed that. And I thank you for coming on. I know you have a heart out. You got places to go and people to see.
I already got a call. I didn't turn off the buzzer. That was them asking me to probably check and make sure I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
But no, we do appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to you. Thank you for having us on. And we're, like I said earlier, we're really proud. I'm proud of this girl right here, that she's the one that runs it. I'm here on weekends and in the evenings, still holding my day job.
But without you, there wouldn't be her, and then there wouldn't be this.
Exactly.
So
Thank you.
It's important. You're an important part of the equation.
Thank you.
I'm trying to get this guy to retire.
Yes. Yeah, we're working on it.
And definitely, I hope I can come back and have you guys on again when you like you said, when you do the blending of the age. I'd love to
Absolutely
come on and talk about that more. But thank you again. And those of you listening, thank you for tuning in or watching. And as always, stay safe and keep searching.
Check out FedoraCRT.com today.